Wafa has barely spoken since she lost her father and her home in January. Her mother, Wada, cradles her in her arms. Their new home, a refugee camp in Lebanon. Her story is part of a new UN report that says in Lebanon and Jordan alone, 250,000 children have received psychological counseling during the first 9 months of this year. And here's why they need help. A 9-year-old boy drew this picture featured in the report. The bus he and his family took to flee their home was stopped and robbed by armed men. And there's this picture. I left all my dolls in Syria when we fled to Lebanon, says 7-year-old Noura. So my daddy made this doll with a piece of wood. The UN document reveals that 29% of refugee children leave their home once a week or less, isolated and alone. 15-year-old Mahmoud hasn't been to school in nearly 3 years. Today he works at a fish factory, making $60 a month. That helps pay the rent for the underground storage room his family now lives in. Another number just released in the report, nearly half of the 3,500 Syrian refugee children living in the Jordan Valley work adult jobs to help their families. And then there's this photo. One of baby Ziad's first experiences of life was registering as a refugee. And a young mother crosses the border from Syria carrying her 1-month-old son, Hamid. Since he was born, there's been nonstop bombing every day, she says. Every day, the UN says, 125 Syrian babies are born as refugees. 18% of Syrian refugees are under the age of 5. Families fractured, innocence lost, emotionally scarred kids. This is the reality for an entire lost generation of Syrian children. Hala Gorani, CNN.